Hey everybody, I'm playing some Victor Vran today, and I'm going to show you a Blademaster build that I think is a really solid all-around build. It has good survivability, has decent damage, and you can easily change it up to a high damage or a high survivability build depending on what your situation is. But first off, what is a Blademaster? Well, the Blademaster is a sword build using the Blademaster Destiny card. And this is one of the weapon-specific Destiny cards that are available for all weapon types if you happen to find them. The Blademaster card I think is the best, or at least the best that I've seen so far of the weapon-specific cards, and I'll get into why I think so in a minute. But the other thing about this build that you have to have is it's really reliant on criticals. It's all about the critical hits. So I have a Lady Luck. That has 42% base criticals. Now if you don't have a Lady Luck, if you have any sword that has of the assassin suffix, that has higher base criticals. And I know this is a rapier, I don't happen to have that sword. If you do have one, you can take it over to the transmuter and you can raise up the critical chance there, or you can just use more strength cards in your build. So I'll show you how I got this thing set up. So the first card I'm going to use is a Seer card. And this gives you 4 more Destiny points. So I went from 17 to 21. And then the Blademaster card. And I'll show you what's so good about this card. First, it gives you 20% extra critical damage with swords. So we're already starting with high crit chance, so more critical damage would make sense. But what really sets this card apart from the rest is this regeneration. You get regeneration for 10 seconds when you score a crit with a sword slash or dash attack. It's 4% of your health per second, but what's really huge about this, it doesn't have a cooldown. So if you have high crit chance I should say, you can trigger this card and keep it up almost non-stop. So the other important thing is here, it's a 4% health gain per second. It's not a flat amount, so the higher your health, the more you're going to heal per second. So the reason I'm using the Zealot's outfit is because it has 500 more hit points. So now I'm at 4,400. That makes my regen 176 per second when that thing's running. So higher health is definitely beneficial to this build. So the next thing we want to go with is a strength card. For a level 3 or a 3-point Destiny card, you get 8% more critical chance. So now I'm at 50%. So every other hit's going to be a critical. And the other thing is, this is a wicked card, so inflict cripple on critical. So why not take more advantage of the critical hits that we're building? So the survivability part of this build, along with the regeneration, is the Bishop. 6.5% of maximum health on critical, and it only has a 5-second cooldown. So this is going to trigger quite a bit. So again, this benefits from having high base hit points. The more you're going to heal back every critical. Now the damage portion is the Rogue card. 150% critical damage. So now you got decent damage, you got high survivability, but you can even change it up a little bit. Let's say you want to go just high damage, you don't mind taking some health potions now and then. You could replace that Bishop card with an 8 Wild card. So now you're at 310% critical damage, and you raised up your base damage as well. Or you could add a second Rogue card. You're at 420% critical damage. Now I did some math on this earlier, and the difference between an 8 Wild card and a 7 Rogue on this build is almost nothing. A few damage per second. So whatever card you have, use that one. Doesn't really matter. So let's say instead you want to improve your survivability. Maybe you're going on one of those no potion challenges or whatever. You can take out the Rogue card, which is going to drop your damage pretty significant, but you can put in place of it a second Bishop card. So now you're really getting a lot of extra crit heals. Or you can raise your hit points with a Hope card. So with 15 extra hit points, that's going to be another 60 per second you're going to regen when that regen's running, and which is going to be almost all the time. And that frees up a Destiny point, so you may as well put a 4 strength card in place of the 3. So now you're at 52% criticals. Alright, so what we're going to go with, what I showed you in the beginning. And here's another thing. Another bonus to having high critical chance. This attack here, the slash attack, knocks back a single enemy, will automatically recharge when you crit an enemy. So you're going to see this thing instantly recharge sometimes 2, 3, 4 times in a row because the criticals are going to happen so often. You're going to be using this attack all the time, and it's a high damage attack. So let's go try this out against the Apocalypse, and we'll see how it works out. I'm going to try not to use any health potions or even my Sanguine Aura. I should have went over that too. My demon powers, I like to go with one offensive, which is my Sunray, and I will use that. And my Sanguine Aura, which is just going to be my defensive in case I run into some problems. I need a little extra healing. I'm going to throw in another sword in my secondary slot, but I'm not going to use it. Alright, so let's go take on the Apocalypse.